Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Before we start off, this episode is of course brought to you by Hook Vitality, the Hook's creatine brand. It is here, link will be in the description below, so make sure you guys check it out and get some creatine. But let's get into it. I mean, Dalton Smith against Sabil Matias, just quickly touching upon that. I mean, what a beautiful performance from Dalton Smith. And now he's the one who's got all the cards. The world is his oyster. Um, there's been a lot of fights touted for him now that he won in the manner that he did against Matias. A big one is Adam Azim, and just touching upon that, I do think that fight could be saved for a big fight next year, maybe, considering Adam Azim wins and looks comfortable doing so. I think that could be a really big domestic fight in the UK. Maybe a potential small stadium, but definitely a 20,000 seater stadium, because it's got all the ingredients to be a really good fight. And we need more of those fights. I feel more of those domestic fights, ones that are gonna get the British sporting public talking about boxing again, like you did with Chris Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn. And maybe we got to start building these British stars in such a way to grow the popularity of the sport. So I think that fight could be saved. I mean, he is number one now, so he does hold all the cards. Alberto Puello could be another good fight for him, but I mean, he can do whatever he wants. I heard people saying that he could maybe go up to 147. A lot of people up at 147. Obviously, you've got the likes of Hamza Shiraz, etc. So, look, I mean, he holds all the cards, and very well deserved. I seen the little sort of tribute that Matchroom paid to him on in New York, and that was really good as well. It's good to see him surrounded by all of his friends and family there in New York. So I guess the plan of action for him now is to just enjoy it, and then and maybe back fight in April May time, in a big money fight. He will now have a figure in mind of what it is that he deserves to be paid, and he won't go below that. So well done to him, and well done to his father, Grant Smith. What a performance! And then Ajit Kabayel as well. Just a quick word on him. That sort of reception that from Germany was really good. I mean, it sort of seeped through the TV audience, the TV screens. In terms of who he could fight, a big Alexander Usyk fight is sort of rumoured on the cards. I mean, I mentioned Lawrence Okolie in the previous video. That as well could do numbers, but in terms of what Ajit Kabayel probably deserves, he does deserve an Alexander Usyk, considering the track record he has. Does Lawrence Okolie really deserve Ajit Kabayel? Maybe not. But he did let everyone know, Lawrence Okolie did as well, that he did win the WBC Cruiserweight champion, so he is a legitimate fighter. It's just, I think Kabayel wants Usyk, and probably deserves Usyk as well. I guess maybe a sticking block would be where that fight would be held. We've seen how much the fight fans sort of come out for a fight in Germany. Obviously, we hadn't had a fight in about 10 years, but we've seen sort of the appetite. And if Kabayel is really going to call Germany his home, those big fights have got to be held in Germany. And 50, 60,000 people easily to see him against Alexander Usyk, because Germany have made the point before that it's not too far to get over there from the UK, and and other sort of territories as well. So a big fight there. Now moving on to some breaking news that has just happened. Apparently Hamza Shiraz against Diego Pacheco will go to purse bids, and a big fight has been announced between Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia for the February 21st in Las Vegas. We'll touch upon that fight first. I mean, Ryan Garcia seems to be getting himself into big fights despite despite his vein of form, I'll just get his box rec up here. But I mean, in his previous fight, I think he's coming off a loss against Rolly Romero. Yeah, so a loss against Rolly Romero, a win against Devin Haney, but that obviously got put down as a no contest because he had PEDs in the system. Oscar Gerardo, a win, and then a loss against Gervonta Davis as well. So, I mean, it's not great, but I guess his marketability and a little bit like the Conor Benn sort of situation, right? Ryan Garcia's marketability, the way he maybe sort of comes across and his appeal to fight fans has landed him in to big fights. So yeah, that no doubt that'll be quite big. Mario Barrios is coming off a split decision victory, I believe, against Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao dusted off the gloves to sort of come back, and apparently, he could have won that fight. Manny Pacquiao could have become WBC. That's crazy, welterweight champion. But yeah, so it's quite bizarre. But I mean, that's the nature of the sport that we live in. I think I do see the winner of this fight taking on Conor Benn in a big fight in the UK, or maybe out in the States. I think with this, Ryan Garcia's got a big chance to sort of, become a world champion in that division, and I think the victor fights Conor Benn in a big fight. I really do. In terms of Conor Benn, I mean, he's another one who sort of holds a lot of the cards, right? Because he may not. It's a similar situation to Ryan Garcia. He may not have maybe the strong track record as such, but he is highly marketable, famous last name, and is able to sell out 60,000-70,000 seat stadiums twice against Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr. of course played his part as well, but as did Conor Benn. So interesting times, and ones that, let me just quickly Diego Pacheco, because the Ring sort of came out with a so the WBO taking matters into its own hands. This is quoted from the Ring. 3 weeks after ordering Diego Pacheco against Hamza Shiraz, they're now ordering purse bids. The parties have been unable to reach an agreement with the allotted time. And then the financial decision. So if Pacheco and Shiraz clash in the UK, the Pacheco will be favoured with 60-40 split. And then obviously vice versa if that fight takes place in the US. Neutral site 50-50. I mean, just on that, I would have thought that Riyadh Season would have been interested in promoting that fight, and Hamza Shiraz sort of headlines the Riyadh Season card for the first time. But I guess I guess that could still happen, and I think that might still happen. Shiraz is of course coming off that win against Edgar Berlanga, but he was lucky to get a draw against Carlos Adames. He's also been linked to Christian Mbili. Diego Pacheco is coming off a win against Kevin Lele Sajo, who had a very big knockout percentage. I think it was 88%, but it's a big ask for Hamza Shiraz to go up against Pacheco. Pacheco's 24, Shiraz 26, so both similar ages, but Pacheco is a very good fighter. A very, very, very good fighter. Tall, rangy, a little bit like Shiraz, but maybe this is one step too far. Who knows? But what's one thing for certain is that that would be a great fight, and it will continue 2026 the way it's going, because so far we've had some really good fights. But anyway, leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you.